Bravo, Christine. Merci d'avoir accepté.
Christine, thank you for accepting this great challenge. We also swore in Jean-François Roberge.
It's quiet here in front of Quebec Premier François Legault's downtown Montreal office on Thursday, but in Rimouski, over 300 kilometers northeast of Quebec City, where CAQ caucus meetings are taking place, there's a whole lot happening. Legault announced changes to his cabinet after Pierre Fitzgibbon, former Minister of the Economy and Energy, resigned. Christine Fréchette, Quebec Immigration Minister, will now take over the roles and be dubbed a super minister because of the importance of the two ministerial appointments. Jean-François Roberge will now take over the file of provincial immigration while retaining his responsibilities for Canadian relations and the French language.
The main priority right now with Ottawa is to negotiate to convince them to quickly reduce the number of temporary immigrants, which has increased by 300,000 in the last 2 years. Legault and the ministers traveled from Rimouski to Quebec City Thursday afternoon for the swearing-in ceremony ahead of Tuesday's start to the fall parliamentary session. Hearings will begin on the massive energy reform bill Fitzgibbon tabled in June, making changes to the way Hydro-Quebec operates and how electricity rates will be fixed. I will invest myself to the best of my ability. I will give everything to advance Quebec in terms of economic development and energy transition. As immigration minister, she was at the helm of the recent announcement to limit the number of temporary immigrants.
I think she had some pretty high-profile opportunities, and she managed them very well. Going forward, immigration is still an issue. Mr. Roberge is going to have to handle that component along with language and try to tie the two together.
It is unacceptable, the number of temporary immigrants. We are working very hard to convince Ottawa for a drastic reduction in that number. We also have issues in francisation and integration because Quebec will stay a welcoming place. Fitzgibbon's departure means his seat in Terrebonne is vacant. A by-election is expected to be called within the next 6 months. PQ leader Paul Saint-Pierre Plamondon was already campaigning there on Thursday. A CAQ cabinet shuffle is also expected by the end of the year.
Legault's cabinet has a lot of work ahead of it if he wants to try to maintain any kind of credibility as a potential future premier and also ward off the advances of Mr. Saint-Pierre Plamondon, who's done quite well on the polls recently. So I think this is a big test for Mr. Roberge, but especially for Mme. Fréchette.
In Montreal, Alyssia Rubertucci, City News.